The man accused in last week's light rail stabbing was caught with a knife just 2 months earlier, but never showed up in court.
Police say Oscar Solorzano stabbed a passenger Friday night, leaving riders shaken and demanding answers.
WBTV's Michael Warwick explains what we've uncovered about his past.
This ticket from October shows Oscar Solorzano was charged for illegally carrying a large red knife at a different light rail station the same month he was banned from Cat's property. 2 months later, police say Solorzano is accused of stabbing a man here on a light rail.
I ride it almost every day. But since the stabbings, it's like, dang, should I ride it?
Nikki Weidman and her brother Derek depend on Charlotte's light rail for everyday travel that more recently has led to extra uneasiness on board.
I hope it gets better because stuff like that, it makes you cautious of like, should I get on the train or should I not? If I'm gonna be next or who else is gonna be next?
After a man stabbed a passenger last Friday, the Weidmans say safety still isn't where it needs to be. They've seen some additional security guards on the light rail since the high-profile murder of Iryna Zarutska in August, but it hasn't been enough to make them feel more comfortable.
I think they all talk. Until I start seeing the improvements, that's when I start believing them saying, I'm going to improve this, I'm going to improve that. Well, do it instead of saying it. I want to see you do it.
Since Zarutska's killing, CAT's data shows less people are riding the light rail. The Blue Line saw a 10% decrease in ridership in September and an 8.5% decrease in October. Nikki doesn't have many other options. She and her brother say safety still isn't where it needs to be.
I hope they do step it up, but if not, I don't know what to say.
It makes you wonder if you really are safe. I'm scared to come out my house sometimes because I don't know if I'm safe or not.
In court Monday, prosecutors said Solorzano was drunk at the time of the attack. The victim in that case is recovering. In Noda, Michael Warwick, WBTV, on your side.